Griff, thank you. For more on this, let's bring in our panel. Former White House official for George W. Bush and winning for Women Vice Chair Ashley Davis, and former Hillary Clinton campaign national finance team member and Brownstein Hyatt Farber Schreck partner Al Mottur. It's a mouthful. Thanks, guys, for joining us. So let's jump right into it. Picking up on the Fetterman-Oz race, I was almost surprised to see that Fetterman had agreed to a debate. Ashley, I'll start with you. Do you think that that was a mistake?
Well, I definitely think that the Fetterman has a huge problem when he's going to have to face Dr. Oz in the debate. Obviously, it's a very sad situation that happened to him, but voters need to see what shape he's in. I do think that when you have someone like the Washington Post call you out, editorial page call you out and say that you should be debating, you probably should be debating.
Al, your response.
That's fair. I mean, look, health is on the ballot to an extent, and he has to prove that he can be a functioning senator. But senators have had strokes and been quite successful. I was just with Senator Ben Ray Lujan this week. He had a stroke in the spring. He's doing phenomenal. Senator Tim Johnson, the former chair of the Senate Banking Committee, he suffered a pretty big stroke, but then ran the committee successfully for years. So the fact that he's struggling a bit with his speech, that happens after strokes. That doesn't mean his mind isn't sharp. And so, yes, he has to prove that he can do it. It's a slight hurdle, but I think he'll be able to overcome it.
I want to play some sound from Fetterman talking about his health. Let's take a listen to that. Oh, we don't have the sound. All right, well, we'll skip over that. I'll tell you what he said. I hope you never have a doctor in your life making fun of you. Sort of shooting back at Dr. Oz for bringing his health into, the picture. Is that fair, though? I mean, shouldn't voters be concerned with someone's health to a degree that they're about to vote into it? It's a huge position to be a senator in Pennsylvania.
Well, look, 100%. And like I said, it's fair for the question to be on the table and for him to have to prove that it's not an issue. I think that's reasonable. But he's also been great with his social media and making fun of Dr. Oz, whether it's that he's actually from New Jersey or that he talks about crudités. So, I think it's more in that vein than undermining the issue.
It was not a great moment, the crudité moment.
It was not. However, just to jump in here, I really think that I'm from Pennsylvania, outside Pittsburgh, and I actually think the real issue with Fetterman is the fact that he is a Bernie Sanders liberal. I mean, Pennsylvania, besides maybe the 5 counties outside of Philadelphia, are not going to like this type of candidate, and no one's paying attention to that. I thought it was very risky at the beginning for Dr. Oz to take on the health issue, but I do agree that the voters need to see if we have a United States Senator potential that is sound of mind.
Ashley makes a great point. I mean, candidates matter, and he is fairly liberal, but Oz has such high negatives that I think Fetterman is still in the lead for those reasons.
I want to switch gears to inflation, because this is still top of voters' minds heading into the midterms. The president this week celebrating the Inflation Reduction Act on the same day that a pretty, worrisome CPI report comes out. Maybe not great. Our Fox News polling, 59% of people still saying that inflation and higher prices are their biggest concern, compared to 45% saying it's abortion policy. But we're watching Democrats really try to make this midterm elections about abortion. Is that, Ashley, is that going to work when you've got, prices still where they are?
I think it's yet to be seen for sure, and I do, going back to certain parts of the country, I think that abortion is going to be a major issue. Take even outside the suburbs, outside of Philadelphia, for example, again. That is somewhere that the voters are really going to be concerned about abortion. But we have 3 we have 3 congressional seats in Pennsylvania that are probably going to flip to be Republican. And in those areas, abortion's number 4 or 5, as you showed earlier. So I think that it's going to be more in that situation an issue probably for Oz, but we still could pick up 3 congressional seats.
Al, your answer to that.
I think that's all fair. Look, normally in midterm elections, the incumbent party fails, right? But we have 2 sort of black swan issues here. One is this issue, the Dobbs case, and women's reproductive rights being at issue across the country. You saw Senator Lindsey Graham just introduced a bill to outlaw abortion after 15 weeks. Well, there you have it. If Republicans win the Senate and the House, a leading senator wants to do that in every state in America, every liberal state, every red state. But the second big issue is Donald Trump and democracy. You showed that poll where democracy is on the ballot. Democrats like to say that in elections, but it often doesn't rise to the level of being the top 4 or 5 issues in polls. So it's hard to analyze this electorate.
Well, we've run out of time, guys. We could continue this in the break because I want to keep talking about it. But thank you so much.
that he brings up Lindsey Graham. You got it in there.
Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it. Ashley Davis and Al Mottur for us.